Hello viewers and welcome to Science TV Brief News, where we are going to inform you what's happening in our country and across the borders. You are with me, Videlis Njoki, and that is my sign name. With my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Omondi. On our first news item, President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga are set to preside over their first ever joint Parliamentary Group meeting on Monday, marking an unprecedented moment in the country's political history. The very rare political convergence is widely viewed as a signal of a possible alliance ahead of the 2027 general elections. The meeting, that is scheduled to take place at State House, will bring together members of parliament from Raila Odinga's ODM party and Ruto's Kenya Kwanza coalition. Sources indicate the agenda will include strategies for bipartisan legislative cooperation, as well as discussions on key national development priorities. That's a very impressive time that we are seeing people, different parties coming together and trying to work together and making history. I hope that our politics can stay the same, peaceful and united and successive. Moving on, the High Court has stopped the government from proceeding with plans to sell its stake in the Kenya Pipeline Company. Justice Bahati Mwamuye issued the temporary orders in a case that was filed by the Consumers Federation of Kenya, that's COFEC. COFEC had moved to court challenging the proposed transaction, arguing that the sale of the strategic state corporation was against public interest and posed a risk to national security. The lobby maintained that KPC plays a critical role in the country's fuel supply chain and its ownership should remain under full government control. I wonder why the government was trying to sell its stake, because Kenya is a very big country and this is for national benefit. So if it's sold, then I don't know what the goal was, but it should be clear that where the idea and the plan and what the intentions are. We feel that this is not in the best interest of the people. Moving on to other news. Githunguri Member of Parliament Gathoni Wamuchomba has been suspended from Parliament for 20 days after staging a protest against the Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen over what she termed as laxity in probing of the Kware dam site murders. Speaker Moses Wetangula on Wednesday, August 13th, ruled that her conduct amounted to contempt, citing Standing Order 107, and barred her from accessing all parliamentary facilities during the suspension. Wamuchomba accused the government of frustrating efforts to address femicide, noting that 13 months after the July 2024 discovery of murdered women's bodies at the Kware Dam site, only a few victims had been identified. She further claimed that the prime suspect, Colin Jumiasi, escaped from police custody in August 2024 and still to this date remains at large. The Member of Parliament also faulted Murkomen for dismissing a BBC Africa Eye documentary on Kenya's child sex trade, saying that it downplayed systematic threats that are facing women in the country. And it's true, I agree with her, because this has been a big issue, and the documentary from BBC has eyed and shown the very degrading situation where children are not protected by the government from this sex trade. But right now, it's 2 days and then we're moving on like nothing has happened. We need to have an investigation done and arrests made about the story to know whether it's true, and those perpetrators be arrested. Where does the future of women lie? Moving on, the Kenya Medical Research Institute, that's KEMRI, is leading the forensic process to identify the 6 people who perished in Mihoko aircraft crash earlier this week. AMREF Flying Doctors Chief Executive Officer Stephen Gitau said that the results of the identification exercise are expected earlier today or by Monday next week. The light aircraft went down in Mihoko area, killing all 6 occupants on board, and investigations into the cause of the crash are ongoing, with the aviation authorities saying preliminary findings will be released once the analysis of flight data and the wreckage is complete. Our sincere condolences to the families of all those who are affected in the plane crash. 6 people is a big number, and I hope that the identification process will happen expeditiously and the case will be closed for all people who are involved to be able to be identified, and also the reason for the crash be identified. Moving on, the Nairobi Hospital has moved to the High Court to stop insolvency proceedings filed by security firm Opticom Limited over a disputed 32 million shilling debt, saying that the matter should be resolved through arbitration as stipulated in their contract. The hospital, through the lawyer Moses Owuor, argues that the petition is premature and could jeopardize its operations and patient care. The dispute stems from a 51 million shilling tender for supply and installation of pedestrian and baggage scanners that was awarded in December 2022. The hospital accuses Opticom of breaching the contract by supplying a different brand without approval, leading to its demand for removal and replacement of equipment. Opticom instead demanded payment of the disputed balance, prompting the insolvency petition. I hope and believe that the lives of the patients will not be affected because of that debt, and I hope that that case will be solved. Moving on to our final item. 22 bodies from the Kisumu-Kakamega highway crash that claimed 26 lives are lying at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital morgue. The victims perished in a tragic accident that happened earlier this week, which authorities say was one of the deadliest road incidences in the region in recent years. The bereaved families have flocked to the hospital to identify and to collect the remains of their loved ones. The atmosphere at the facility was heavy with grief as relatives, some wailing uncontrollably, struggled to come to terms with the sudden loss. Our deepest condolences from us here at Science TV for all the families that have been affected. And it's very difficult situation when you're traveling home and not get to your destination. We are so sorry, and we believe that other drivers will be careful on the road and keep safe while driving on our roads. Thank you so much. That has been all for now here from us here at Science TV. You've been with me, Videlis Njoki, with my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Omondi. Enjoy the rest of your evening and join us for the evening news with Chris Mololo.